Kia ora tamariki, welcome to Rainbow Storytime with Circa Theatre. How are we all doing this afternoon? Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Hugo. You might know me as Hugo the Gardener, and it's my absolute pleasure to share with you some of my favorite stories for children this afternoon. I was so delighted to be asked to do this because it's a bit of a secret, but I have my own collection of kids books that I love and have read so many times, and it's such a pleasure to be able to share some of my favorite stories with you today. Now, you know my name, but I don't yet know your name. So even though we are seeing each other through a screen today, I would love if on the count of 3, you could all yell your names as loud as you can. Do you reckon you can do that? Oh, thank you so much. All right, let's give it a go, shall we? Here we go. Names on 1, 2, 3. Hugo! Oh, amazing yelling, everyone. Thank you so much for telling me your beautiful names. I feel like I know you all a little bit better now. Now, you might notice a little friend popping up in this video. This is an important person we need to meet as well. Her name is Elsie, and she loves eating my houseplants. Speaking of houseplants, everyone, I am wearing green, and I am surrounded by green, and there's a theme to the readings that we're going to be sharing today that has to do with the color green. Can you guess what that might be? What do you think our stories might be about today? If you said nature, you're absolutely right. We are going to read lots of books about nature today. What sort of things exist in nature? There are plants, like we can see here. There are animals. There's lots of different sorts of weather. And right now it's raining outside the window, which is what you might be able to hear. And sometimes it's sunshine. So we're going to read stories about lots of different things today. And one of those things is how awesome it is to be different. Cat, you better not touch that camera. Don't do it. The good people need to be able to see me. Elsie. Elsie. Oh. You know what? We're just going to keep going. It's mischievous, isn't it? We're about to read books about animals today. So it's very fitting that I have a mischievous cat hanging out with me today. Right. We're going to read stories about how awesome it is to be different. Being different is awesome. And just like in nature, people come in lots and different shapes and sizes and colors and characteristics. And that is awesome. So today we're going to read books about nature, and we're going to read books about how awesome it is to be different. Sound good? Great. Now, with some of the books I'm reading today, I need your help. And I already know that you're great at yelling at me through a screen, so I hope you're going to continue to do that. With our next book, there's one line that comes up over and over again, and it goes like this. Things in the sea are touching me. Can you give that a go? Because when that line comes up, I'm going to want you to yell it back at me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Things in the sea are touching me. Oh, thank you so much for your help today, everyone. All right. So, as you might have guessed, our first book today is about one of the different natural landscapes we have on the planet Earth, and that is the ocean. This book is called Things in the Sea Are Touching Me. It's written by Linda Jane Keegan and illustrated by Minky Stapleton. Are you ready for our first book, everybody? Let's do it. We strolled to the beach, Mama and I, under a shimmering summer blue sky. Wearing my togs and feeling carefree, I just couldn't wait to splash in the sea. Across the hot sand, my jandals flip-flopped till we stopped by a tree at my favorite spot. Then, dropping our towels, our sunblock and snacks, we ran to the water, the sun on our backs. I entered the waves, the bubbles felt neat, when suddenly something grazed over my feet. Look in the water, Ma. Golly, oh gee. Something in the sea is touching me. Great job joining in, everyone. I shrieked and I squealed and I turned on my heel. I grabbed onto Ma with my grip strong as steel. Hello? Don't worry, said Ma. It's just a wee crab looking around for something to nab. It's seeking a snack just under your toes. Let's watch it roam and see where it goes. Please don't dig up my houseplants, honey. Go away. Thank you. The crab ambled sideways over the sand. I sighed with relief and let go of Ma's hand. Then, wading out deeper, right up to my belly, suddenly there I was, wading through jelly. Look in the water, Ma. Golly, oh gee. Something in the sea is touching me. I squawked and I screeched and turned back to the beach. I wanted those blobs to be far from my reach. Don't worry, said Ma. These salps are so small, they just float about, not a bother at all. They drift through the water and feed like a filter. No need to let them put you all off kilter. I peered at the blobs, the gelatinous lumps, trailing my fingers through transparent clumps. Diving under a wave, I dared open an eye and then felt a small bump on my thigh. That's right, Elsie. Look in the water, Ma. Golly, oh gee. Something in the sea is touching me. Great job at joining in if you did. I spluttered and screamed as something unseen was suddenly there where no thing had been. Don't worry, said Ma. It's only a seed from mangroves afar, and the thing that they need is some place to land in, all squishy and soft, in which they can grow and send new pods aloft. Buoyant and bouncing, the pod bobbed away. Watching it drift, I decided to stay. Swimming out further, I felt much more calm when suddenly something slid over my arm. Look in the water, Ma. Golly, oh gee. Something in the sea is touching me. I yelped and I roared, splashing back toward the shore, not feeling so eager to swim anymore. Don't worry, said Ma. It's seaweed, all right, but I can see why you got such a fright. Kelp that's so slimy and floaty, I figure, would feel quite enormous and oh so much bigger. It makes big kelp forests where sea urchins hide, but some break away and end up on the tide. I swam a bit longer, not minding these things, these crabs, blobs and pods, these seaweedy strings. I splashed and I paddled, found courage within, ignoring when stuff touched an elbow or skin. All of a sudden, I heard a great screech. It was Ma who now headed straight back for the beach. Look in the water, love. Golly, oh gee. Something in the sea is touching me. I looked at my Ma heaving out of the water, her eyes wide and white as if something had caught her. I burst into laughter, my hands on my tum. Don't worry, Ma. That thing is just Mom. Oh, almighty paki paki, everyone. That's it. That is Things in the Sea Are Touching Me. I love this book because it's written by a writer from Aotearoa, and it also teaches us that things that might seem quite scary in the ocean really aren't that scary, which is something I need help with. The ocean's very large and overwhelming, isn't it? What do you reckon, everyone? Are we ready for one more story? Oh, you're in luck. I've got a few to go. Great. This is one of my favorite books about animals. It's called We Are All Equal. a very important message. It's by P. Crumble and Jonathan Bentley. What do you reckon? Shall we do another story, everyone? Awesome, let's do it. We are all equal. We are all equal. Your day's not like mine. I chew on bamboo. You swing on a vine. Does anyone know what noise a monkey makes? Ooh, ooh, ah, ah. Yes, very good. All right. We are all equal. You've crossed land and sea. Now this is your home. We share this country. We are all equal. With kids we adore. Though we are parents, our lives aren't worth more. What about this one? Can you make the sound that this creature makes? Roar, like a bear. Very good, everyone. We are all equal. Your house may be small. I am not better, with room to stand tall. We are all equal. You can't walk or run. It doesn't take legs to have lots of fun. What about this one? What noise does this animal make? Yes, very good. We are all equal. You're shaped unlike me. I'm small and slender. You're strong and sturdy. Look how strong and sturdy. We are all equal. Our love we decide. We can get married. No love is denied. We are all equal. You're kind and carefree. Beauty is deeper than what you can see. We are all equal, but you're not as strong. Bullying is not the way to belong. What about this creature? What noise does this creature make? Hoot, 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 hoot. Like an owl. Yes, very good. We are all equal. If only you knew. Tasks cannot measure the good you can do. We are all equal. Let's shout it out loud. We share hopes and dreams. We're equal and proud. Look, it's a big party with all the members of the animal kingdom. Isn't that nice? Excellent. Homai te baki baki, everyone. One book down. Did you like that book? Do you have a favorite animal? If you do, tell me. My favorite animal, I think you might already know, are cats. I love cats. Big and small and scary and cute. I love all kinds of cats. All right. We have such a cool book coming up next. It is about one of my favorite insects, even though they're a little bit gross. Can you guess what insect that might be? It goes like this. Ooh. It is a wiggly worm. We're going to read this very cool book by J.J. Austrian. That's cursive text for you. And it's called Worm Loves Worm. Very simple. I love it. Here we go, everyone. Oh. Worm loves worm. Worm loves worm. Let's be married, says worm to worm. Yes, answers worm. Let's be married. Wait, says cricket. You'll need someone to marry you. That's how it's always been done. I'll marry you. Look, he's wearing a little waistcoat just like me. Now can we be married? Asks worm. Wait, says beetle. You've got to have a best beetle. Naturally, that would be me. Now can we be married? Asks worm. Wait, says the bees. You need bridesmaids. Can we be the bridesmaids? Please, please, please. Yes, says worm. Now can we be married? You'll need to get rings to wear on your fingers, says cricket. That's how it's always been done. But we don't have fingers, says worm. We can wear them as belts, says Worm. Oh, wonderful, says Worm. Now we can be married. Just make sure to have a band so we can dance, says Beetle. But we don't have feet to dance with, says Worm. We can just wiggle around like this, says Worm. Like this. Can you wiggle like a worm? Awesome. Fun, says Worm. Now we can be married. But you still need a white dress, a tuxedo, a top hat, lots and lots of flowers, and a cake with frosting, says the bees. But we don't have heads for hats, says Worm, or hands to hold flowers. And we only eat dirt, says Worm. Wait, says Spider. I can attach the hat and flowers to you with my sticky web. Thank you, says Worm and Worm. But who will eat the cake, says the bees. I can eat the cake along with Cricket and Beetle, says Spider. But what did you say? Asked Cricket and Beetle. Nothing, says Spider with a smile. Now we can be married, says Worm. But which one of you is the bride? Asked the bees. How can we be the bride's bees if we don't know who the bride is? I can be the bride, says Worm. I can too, says Worm. But one of you has got to be the groom, or how can I be best Beetle, says Beetle. I can be the groom, says Worm. I can too, says Worm. We can be both. Amazing, says Spider. Really? Asked Beetle and the bees. Wait, says Cricket. This isn't how it's always been done. Well, just change how it's done, says Worm. Yes, says Worm. And so they were married, because Worm loves Worm. Oh, look at that lovely wedding. Almighty Bucky Bucky, everyone. Worm loves Worm. I love this book because they figure out how to do things differently because they are different. And it's very cute to see worms in tuxedos. All right, how are you all doing out there? Do you reckon maybe we've got time for one more book? Great. I'm so glad about that because I've saved a book that's very special to me for last. It is called The Glitter Garden. It's one of my favourite books because it's written by George Fowler and Laurie Lay, who are very good friends of mine, and the character in it looks a bit like me. Doesn't he? Do you reckon? I reckon. Alright, this is a book about how awesome nature is and how awesome it is to be different. Here we go. To find our magic neighbourhood, come out past Closet's Gate. Be sure to take the winding road. You won't get here going straight. You'll know it when you see it. It's got sun and lots of shade. The proudest little place in town, a street called Pride Parade. Here, everyone has gardens that they prune and tend and grow. Well, everyone except just one, a wee lad called Hugo. Oh, I wish I knew how gardening worked. Does anybody know? How can I make things flourish? Tell me, how do good things grow? I wish. Uh-oh, he sniffed, his nose went, choo! A magic sneeze, and in that huff, a white fluff puffball flew. Whir, whiff, swoosh, whoosh, bizz, whiz, sprinkle, flutter, splutter, splush, splosh, bang, clang, twinkle. His whole backyard was shaking from the porch to the beehive. Could it be? A spell has happened. His garden had come alive. Hiya, we are muddy bugs. We came up from down under. We're the dirt that helps stuff grow. We are soil, muck, and grubber. Gardening can be messy, but it's true, we all agree that good things grow when you get your hands dirty. Well then grow, grow, grow! Why is it taking oh so long? Oh no, mon ami, you are doing this all wrong. Bonjour, my name is Skipper, I'm a slinky, slimy snail. You're so hurried, mon amour, and it will not serve you well. Here is my advice, take it steady, take it slow. With waiting and with patience, that's how good things grow. Sprouts, sprigs, shoots, plants had started to appear when bzzz went something buzzy right up next to Hugo's ear. Howdy, I'm Honey, I'm the sweetest bumblebee. I believe that sharing with your friends is the bee's knees. Hugo, just be caring, be polite, and you will find that good things grow when we share and we are kind. From this moment on, he would follow her advice. He'd gently care for all his plants and make sure to be nice. Hugo smiled, but staring at his sprouts began to worry. And soon his worry grew into a hurried, worried flurry. Well, I'm going to hide. By Pride Parade, this patch has got me beat. I just don't think I'm brave enough to be out on this street. And right on cue, a cocoon cooed. Oh, dearie me, sweet pea. I hear you're scared of growing into all that you could be. Hello, my name's Maddie. I'm a monarch ballerina. The world is much more colourful when everyone can see ya. Brightness can be scary, but we need what you can bring. 'Cause good things grow when you spread your wings. Hugo smiled. He'd come so far and now he finally knew. A perfect garden is a place that's perfect just for you. Then once again, the garden shook. Oh, they're blossoming. My flowers. Looks like I finally harvested my magic gardening powers. The dirts and blooms, they danced. The petal party had begun. Even his bug buddies showed up for the flower fun. He'd learned so much on Pride Parade. His patch was now his own. His little glitter garden, where the good things had all grown. And that's the end. Homaiti paki paki, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for Rainbow Storytime with Circa Theatre this afternoon. That was The Glitter Garden. It was written by George Fowler and Laurie Lay and illustrated by Philippa Clark. Thank you so much again, everyone. I hope you've had some great stories shared this afternoon. My name is Hugo. I've had so much fun. I love reading children's literature. So thank you so much for having me. Have a great rest of your day. Ka kite.